Hey brother, you speak English?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. You wanna? I've got a question for you. Have you got any science experiment that proves you live on a spinning ball?
No, no.
The Earth is flat. It's Earth la Terra plana.
Really?
La Terra plana.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
Nasa mentira.
Yeah, just off to the airport, mate. I'm going to tell the pilot. I'll pass on a good word for you, all right?
Trust Sven to get a taxi.
Take it easy, boys and girls. I'll see you when I see you.
What are we going to call you? Motel room Sven.
Oh, I don't know, whatever you wish, within reason.
Now you're leaving, yeah.
Now I'm leaving. All right. So,
You want to take
quick photograph.
a photo of us taking a photo of you?
Well,
There's Sven leaving stage right in a black and yellow cab. It's quite appropriate given we've been driving in a black and yellow Beetle.
The tour continues.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, guys, take it easy.
Good. Have you got anything to? No, I guess you don't have a spare, do you?
La terra plana. I love it.
See you later.
Cheers, buddy.
Take care, man.
Take care. Take care, Lisa. Jack. Lisa.
Keep it flat. La terra plana.
Yeah.
La terra plana.
Pleasure was mine. The baby is yours.
Did you give the driver
I
a
will,
Spanish
thank you
flyer?
very much.
A
Yes,
Spanish
yeah.
flyer?
Thank you. I will. Spanish fly. Take
Yeah.
care. See you later.
Hola, obrigada,
Bye-bye.
obrigado. There you go. Sven leaves the scene. English? No, Espanol. My Spanish friend is over there. La Terra Plana. Talk to him, my friend. He will. La Terra Plana. Earth is flat. Here you go. I've got some Spanish information. Okay. We can see too far.
Plano. Vale.
Hola, ale. Gracias. La Terra Plana. Earth is flat. Earth, my dear, is flat. Not a ball. Globes don't float. Rocks don't float in space. Nasa mentira. Nasa mentira. Nasa mentira. Nasa mentira. There's a Securidad patrol over there. We seem not to have caused them any disconcert. So it seems that our situation here is pretty handy. And it feels as though the crowd's thickening as the day progresses. Things tend to happen a little later in the afternoon here in Espanol. Mañana land. La Terra plana. Earth is flat. Earth is flat. La Terra plana. Agua plana. Earth is flat. Earth is flat. Take some information. Free your mind. It's all maths. Check it out. La Terra plana. Earth is flat. Earth is flat, my friends, brothers and sisters. We are one. There is only one creation, one creator. You are at the center of that creation, but your belief system called gravity. La Terra plana. La Terra plana. Young, beautiful. Wow, beautiful. Hello. La Terra plana. Hola. Hola, little people. Hola. Have a lovely day. La Terra plana. No globo. Nasa mentira. Nasa mentira. La Terra plana. Shame, these little people are so innocent. And they get globes shoved down there. They get globes on the TV all the time. Every day. No, I'm not going to give you that. La Terra plana. La Terra plana. No globo. La Terra plana. They're called something the angels. That's awesome. La Terra plana, my brother. The earth is flat. The earth is flat. La Terra plana.
That isn't natural cloud. That is from these aeroplanes.
Geoengineering. La Terra plana. I'll interrupt this one.
Oh, you know. Oh, no estoy seguro. No estoy seguro. Oh, you gotta be seguro. Oh, it's seguro. Water, always find this level. Always. Tengo duda. Water, glass, pool, lake.
Really?
Sea.
You think it's flat?
Yeah, I know it's
They're
flat.
lying with
Observable, we don't
What
find
about
any
satellites?
curvature.
satellites.
There's no satellites. A few on balloons, maybe.
Yeah.
I have some questions.
99% of data traffic is through undersea cables. Very little goes through the satellites.
Really?
So the satellites we have are held up on like high altitude balloons. So they're still satellites and they still work, but they don't go to outer space. In fact, we can't even prove there is such a thing as outer space.
I would like to. I prefer to think that the flat is Earth because I'm experiencing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and still, you know,
But it's complicated with all the scientific data.
with all
Yeah.
these informations, of course, of course.
I
You
think
got
it's
to absorb it
It's a
for
good
yourself.
thing. It's a good thing to.
Question it.
question
La
it.
Terra
You
plana?
See it
Earth is flat?
immediately. 20
Earth
miles
is flat?
away coast. It's got to be 80
Earth
meters
is flat,
below.
my dear.
I know. I
Earth is
watch a
flat?
lot of
Take
videos
an
about
info.
it, but I still have. I don't know.
And you learn in school this, you know, now you watch it, so
To be honest, I don't know.
click, it's a click.
Okay.
You will
Well,
recognize it.
good
Just
luck, huh?
observe.
Go and check out their experiments we're doing. We can prove that water's always level. Water's always level. Earth is flat. You guys got an experiment that can prove that we live on a spinning ball? Bring it. We've been looking for 4 years. We can't find any experiments that show we live on a spinning ball. Balls don't hold water to them. Water will fall off the ball. And rocks don't float. Natural physics of water says it must always be level. Yeah, sea level, water level, ocean level, earth level. You guys speak English? Yeah. Okay. I got some information, some websites you can check out on that flyer. There's a fantastic app called the Flat Earth Sun and Moon app. Check that out. We can demonstrate how things work on a flat Earth, but we don't say we know exactly how it works. What we say is balls don't float. We can't prove that the Earth is turning, and we can't prove that water is ever going to bend around a shape like this. They say 8 inches in a mile squared. We got their formula here that says by 100 miles you should have 2,000 meters of curvature. But we've got the world record photograph of over 300 miles, 400 kilometers, and they can see the whole island in the distance at 400 kilometers. That's level water. That should be under 3 miles of curvature. It's not there, my brother. It's not there. We know water is level. So we say that the whole of our science has been mistaught around gravity, relativity, and theories that we can't prove for ourselves.
Wow. The good thing is we're better off knowing.
Why? Because it's control. To control the mind, control the body, control the soul. Actually, we think to control the soul. I think to control the soul, because they don't want you to know that you are of the Creator. You are part of the Creator or the creation. You, each of us. We are totally connected to the Creator. But this system wants to divorce you, divide you, and conquer you. That's what it wants to do. And it does that through religion. It does that through science. This version of science that says you come from a monkey, a big bang, not that you were created and you're perfectly meant to be here, but that you come from a monkey and a big bang. That's a science to rob you of your mind and make you small. Minimize rather than empower. Because actually we want to be empowered. We want to be the best soldiers, the best warriors, the best souls we can be. But we'll never be that while we believe we're monkeys.
This is what the Earth looks like?
No, well, we don't know that it's this floating in space thing is not at all. But this map or this version of the layout is like the United Nations logo. So people tend to use that because it kind of matches with what we can observe.
It's more, you think it's more like a pancake than a...
I don't know about that. Hey, we've only drilled 8 miles into the Earth. So as far as I know, it goes down 8 miles, and then beyond that, we don't know.
Oh, wow.
Humans have never been deeper than 8 miles with any drill bit. We
That's
can't get deeper than
far.
8 miles.
8 miles.
It's a long way, but it certainly doesn't get us through this. And the disc floating in space is not an example that I particularly like, because I don't know how it works, how it's floating, because I don't think that it's floating.
It's just knowing that it's not a sphere.
Yeah, it's not a sphere, and it's not, well, the idea that things are going to float on time and space, on a cushion of time and space, and for millions of years just keep going around the sun and all that shit, that for me is unprovable. Okay. That's not provable. We can't demonstrate that physically. We know that water needs to be contained, otherwise it will run away. So we say that our water bodies, the oceans, must be contained somehow. Don't know exactly how. Some say it's like an ice ring. Fuck, I dropped all my paper. Apologies for the language. Yeah, so we think it's like an ice ring that holds all of our water bodies together. That's all we think.
Interesting.
But the business of floating No, that we can't. And then none of it makes sense, actually. When you look at how the planets are all spinning in their own speeds, and we're going through the galaxy at 500,000 miles an hour, and the galaxy is going through the universe at another 1,000,000 miles an hour, and all these sort of different movements that we're meant to be tracking, and yet our planets are all following us in a perfect disk. And Halley's Comet is coming around, and all the stars we see, similar stars, year after year after year, and yet we're in a big explosion. None of that makes sense. The idea that we're not moving, well, that's what your sensors tell you, we're not moving. The idea that the sky is moving, that's what it seems like, the sky is moving. And if you come back in a year's time, you'll see the same star pretty much in the same places, and so on. So to me, that makes a lot more sense. And the sun and moon are small lights tracking over our heads. Are they going around in a disk like that? I'm not selling that as a model. I'm just saying that's an idea of how it might be, that it's a light that can illuminate half of the Earth at any given time, and it moves over the surface of the Earth.
Right. Interesting. Thank you.
My name's Dave.
Jake.
Jake, nice to meet you. Have a good holiday. Hi.
Has anyone ever been to the Edge? That's like a huge thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people ask that all the time.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
think that an Admiral Byrd might have got to the Edge. He was an American, very highly decorated American admiral, and he went on 3 massive explorations funded by the American taxpayer called Operation High Jump, Operation Deep Freeze, and one other, 1950s. These you can research for yourself. He claims to have been able to travel in over 1,000 miles, perhaps even nearly 2,000 miles in from where they landed on the Antarctic ice shelf. He did that by taking fuel out on relays and so on. Is it possible that we can get to this edge if there is such a thing? Maybe, or maybe it's not, but it's not a thing that I'm able to answer. What I can tell you is that we've never flown underneath our globe. So if we live on a globe, you'd thought that they'd be able to fly underneath there quite routinely now, go in at 180 degrees, come out 3,000 miles later at 0 degrees or 90 and come out
What
at
do you mean,
67.
I'm from New York, so we flew around the globe.
Okay, so if you fly around, say, to Hong Kong or something like that, then imagine it like an LP, like a record or a CD disc, that you're actually just able to fly around some sort of center spindle. So that your center spindle would be your magnetic north, and you would then track east or west of that and travel around the world, as navigators have always done. Those that believed that we were on a flat Earth, that did all their navigation once upon a time in that way.
So the center is the North Pole.
Well, we offer that as a potential model. I don't know that that's absolutely right, but let's just say in this case we can answer that question by saying if we did it like that. I think that there's a magnetic ley line system that's embedded in the Earth, and it's that our compasses get their ley lines that they're heading from. So it's a little bit more complex if you start to dig into it. But when you're trying to unpick this globe thing, because it starts with realizing that the globe is a hoax, and until you kind of get that, then you can't really dig deeply into, okay, well, what other theories or what other hypotheses could we make about what we're observing and what we're able to do. My observation is that the closer I get to the equator, the hotter the sun seems. And the further north or south of the equator I travel, the cooler the sun becomes.
Oh, meaning that point of the center point is where the sun would be.
Perhaps, so as you travel further south, then it just gets more and more frigid, and eventually our machinery, our abilities fail to be able to take us any further. And it gets darker and darker and darker. Eventually it's too cold, too dark for us to travel. That would be my preferred hypothesis as to why we can't travel to an edge. That eventually the conditions become too hostile. Same with drilling down. We've only the deepest mine we have on Earth the deepest drill hole we have on Earth is 7.5 miles. And the Russians who tried to beat that or to try and get any deeper failed to make more than 20 centimeters headway over the last 2 years of their drilling operation. Wow. So their bits were failing. So we don't know what's below, and I think as we get up higher, it gets so thin we can't travel up there. And then again,
obviously we haven't gone to Mars.
No, and trust me, I used to, just 5 years ago, I was like egging them on. I was cheering them when they landed on an asteroid. I was cheering them on when they landed the rovers on Moon and Voyager. I was always keeping up with how Voyager was doing and all of this. So I believed in all of those things.
What source taught you all this, or what?
Okay, well, it started picking with me 5 years ago when I found out that 9/11 wasn't done by those 19 Muslims and Osama bin Laden. That was the first thing for me. Then I had a DMT experience, which really helped me along the way of realizing that I wasn't an atheistic monkey. And then I found out that there's a formula for curvature. That if we live on a ball, it must have a measurable curve to it. eventually over a distance, that curve has got to go around and underneath in order to create this marble shape that we're given by NASA's CGI department. So the formula is 8 inches per mile squared, and when I heard that formula for a few weeks, I was like, shit, let me apply that formula to my real world experiences and my life experiences, and I realized, shit, there isn't 10 meters or at just 5 miles. There isn't 60 feet at 10 miles. There is definitely not 6,000 feet at 100 miles. I've seen things at 50 miles away, and they say there should be thousands of feet obscuring your view of things because those things have dropped off the edge of the earth or the ball of the earth. So that wasn't there. And then I found a documentary called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon, and Astronauts Gone Wild.
If there's one documentary I should check out, what is it?
Yeah, I would go with 200 Proofs Earth is Not a Ball by a guy called Eric Dubé, who doesn't like me apparently because he thinks I'm a government spy. But he did a great documentary called 200 Proofs Earth is Not a Ball, and watching through about half of those, you go, shit, most of these I can't explain either. These are great anomalies that our ball Earth, so because what they've done is they've reverse engineered our observations and said, look, the maths fits what you see, the science fits what you see, but actually it's the other way around. And so they say, Aristophanes, for example, 2 sticks in a well. Now, because the sun's gone over this in one place and 500 miles away in another place, his friend has got a longer shadow. That proves we're on a globe. Well, that's not enough on its own. And you can do that same experiment on a flat table and do that as a flat Earth
Well, thank you. I'm going to check that out.
200 proofs and Astronauts Gone Wild or Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon.
Cool. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Jordan, I'm Dave. Cheers. There we go. Another little extra conversation.
Programming. We've been social conditioned to argue with each other about the shape of the earth.
All right. La Terra plana. La Terra plana. Another staggering building here in Barcelona. La Terra plana. Earth is flat. Earth is flat. We've been lied to about where we live. I'll drop some pamphlets. I need to attend to that. Bye for now.